In part 12 of Fire Emblem Engage, we arrive at the cathedral to see King Hyacinth and Hortensia sitting there in front of the altar. Suddenly, we see King Morian appear, but he's acting all weird. Turns out he was turned into a corrupted, similar to the enemies we've been fighting, but way more human and a lot more unnerving. So we start the map, and there are two paths on either side of the starting area that both have one of Hortensia's retainers on them. They then meet in the middle, where there is a magic siege weapon as well as Hortensia herself with Emblem Byleth. So we start the map by warping Louis over to the siege weapon to kill the mage and try and attack some of the non-boss enemies. I split the rest of the team, and they're able to clear the enemies out pretty quickly, and we converge into the middle. There's Hortensia, who is a bit scary because of the emblem ring, but since there's no one else to support her, she goes down pretty easily. Now, after we beat up Hortensia, there is a door for us to destroy, and then beyond that, there's King Morian, and then beyond that, there's King Hyacinth. So I break down the door, and for King Morian, I send Louis towards him, since he is a sword user, and he's surrounded by a bunch of sword users. So Louis takes most of them down, and I finish him off with Olir. King Hyacinth actually has an emblem ring, this one being Emblem Lin, who has a special ability to fire a barrage of arrows at long range. Now I play around this, trying to keep my squishy people outside of his attack range. But I forget the fact that once Morian is dead, King Hyacinth will start to move, and so he moves forward and then fires off a barrage of arrows onto Saline, dropping her to low HP. I panic but manage to recover and take down most of the other units supporting him, so it's basically just Hyacinth himself. This is when he decides to use Lin's other ability, which is to make 4 clones of himself who can help with chain attack or just be walls. Now, we take down most of the clones, but then he decides to flee and then make more clones. So we go and we kill those clones, and then he decides to actually fight us. Now, he is somewhat frail, but Emblem Lin gives him a effective weapon through the Manicotti and range weapons through her bow, which means that he can do a lot of damage, but he does at least take a lot of damage. Eventually we surround him with having some of the bulkier people soak up the hits, and we finish him off with Olir to end the chapter. As the chapter ends, we see that even though he intervened, the ritual still worked, and Sombram is back and is a big snake dragon. And then he goes and he eats Hyacinth alive, and then we find out that Vale, who we've been helping throughout all these different chapters, is actually evil. And then the 4 hounds show up, who are like Sombron's lead squad, and if all that was enough, Sombron then steals our emblem rings and corrupts them, and we're immediately thrown to the next chapter, panicking. But we'll cover that next time.